Okay, guys, you know how much I love tax strategy, and this is potentially a big one. So one of the items that is currently in the COVID plan, the new American Rescue Plan, that is currently right now, as of March 8th, 2021, being discussed and through the reconciliation process between the Senate, the House, back to the Senate, and hopefully on to the president for signatures. We're expecting around March 14th, is a very tiny provision that can actually make a big difference to you if you have significant student loans. Now, student loan forgiveness, all right? So follow my train of thought here. Student loan forgiveness. Normally, if you get forgiven a chunk of your student loan, whether that's through bankruptcy, and we're going to go over the details on the bankruptcy side here in a second, or through some of their specialty programs. You know, if you work for a public hospital or work for a charity, sometimes you can get portions of your student loans forgiven. If you have typically any student loan forgiveness, typically that loan forgiveness is taxable income, which means that, let's say you have $100,000 in student loans. Well, you don't have to pay back the $100,000, but you do have to pay the tax on the $100,000 of income, the debt forgiveness that you were given. Now, there's a really cool little provision, a little loophole in the new bill. Now, it has not yet passed, so keep paying attention to what's going on with this bill. But what they're saying is, if this passes the way that it's currently written, any student loan forgiveness passed between December 30th of 2020 and January 1st of 2026 will be tax-free. Tax-free, okay? Now, many of you out there are like, okay, well, that's great, but I don't have the opportunity to make my student loans tax-free, okay? Now, listen, if you've got $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 worth of student loans, this may not be the strategy for you. However, we have seen $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 worth of student loans. There's a way to get out of your student loans, okay, all legal, all above board. You guys know I only bring you those kinds of strategies. In this case, what you can do is file bankruptcy. You would have to qualify to file bankruptcy for this to work. And you'd have to file an adversary proceeding when you file bankruptcy. Now, your bankruptcy attorney should know this. So you've got to qualify for bankruptcy. You need to have significant amounts of student debt for this to work. And you need to file this specialty type of proceeding. It's called an adversary proceeding. So basically what happens here is that when you can have your federal student loan discharged in bankruptcy, but only if you file that adversary proceeding documentation through the bankruptcy court. Basically what adversary proceeding means is that if you had to pay the student loans, it would create undue hardship on you and your dependents, okay? Now, this combination could be massive. Can you imagine having a $300,000 student debt, being able to go through bankruptcy, applying for and receiving the adversary proceeding and getting that approved, and then, of course, under this new law, having debt forgiveness completely wiped from your books? That means you could have 300, 400, 200, whatever amount of student loan debt that you have completely wiped. You don't have to pay tax. You don't have to do anything for it other than file bankruptcy. So side note, I get it. Bankruptcy is a big step for a lot of people, but you guys know that I bring you out of the box tax strategies. So if your situation could potentially match this, feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to connect you with our bankruptcy experts. Definitely always looking to help people use the tax law and tax strategy to reduce their taxation and reduce how much money they have to spend. Repaying student loans is a chunk of funds too. If you can use the tax law to your advantage, do it. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us at taxgoddess.com. And of course, you can always ask questions on our Facebook group, Tax Strategies That Save Entrepreneurs Thousands. All right, thanks so much, guys. Everybody have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.